Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter's Movie Reviews. And today I am going to review a timeless classic, The Princess Bride, which I had never seen until late last night. I'm doing this thing over here where I'm trying to watch older movies that I've never seen before, which is hard because I have seen so many movies in my life. I grew up on movies. I love movies. I watch movies all the time. I actually love to watch older movies more than I like to watch newer movies. So I've been keeping a list of movies that I have never seen before or never seen all the way through, like The Notebook, Labyrinth, Princess Bride. So many people have reached out to me, and whenever I say in a video that I've never seen The Princess Bride, people are like, Peter, you have to see The Princess Bride. It is so good. People will say to me, it's my favorite movie. Oh my God, I love The Princess Bride. I posted on my Instagram last night that I was watching The Princess Bride. I said something like, well, I have it actually pulled up right here. I said something like, this is my movie for the night. What did I say? Watching this for my first time ever from my movie channel linked below. And I put The Princess Bride. Can I just tell you how many messages I woke up to today? People are like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're watching this. I can't wait to hear what you say. This is my favorite movie. I've watched the movie 100 times. I grew up on that movie. Oh my God, I believe in love because of that movie. I never thought love could happen to me until I saw The Princess Bride. I feel like I'm going to ruin some dreams today. I do. Like, I'm not a dream killer. I'm not. But this movie was so bad. This movie was so bad. And I have to tell you, like, when it started, and I don't know which one came out first, and I'm not going to look right now because, like, just to be honest with you, I don't really care. But, you know, like, today, I read a lot, I watch a lot of TV shows, and a lot of movies. We talk about tropes today, right? Like, we talk a lot about tropes. I started watching this movie. First of all, I had no idea Fred Savage from The Wonder Years was on it. And then I, like, had to Wikipedia Fred Savage to see what he's doing today. Did you know that Fred Savage, apparently, I just actually saw this a couple months ago. Like, the whole cast of The Wonder Years, like Danica Patrick and everybody, they all got together and they had this, like, reunion that Fred Savage was like, no, I'm too good for that. Do you know what he does now? He, like, owns this business that, something to do with, like, watches, like Rolexes and stuff like that. That's kind of an interesting exit. But he's probably living off that Wonder Years and Princess Bride money. I did not realize he was in The Princess Bride. So, the movie starts, and it's Christmas. Is this considered a Christmas movie? Because, you know, like, some people call Goonies a Christmas movie. I love the movie Goonies, but I don't know that I would call it a Christmas movie. Maybe I should watch it for the Christmas season. Anyway, Die Hard is definitely a Christmas movie. Don't. Die Hard 2 is definitely a Christmas movie. I mean, it's snow and everything. But anyway, so the movie starts. I know what I'm telling you guys is, I'm not going to do like a recap of it because like everybody else in the world except for me has seen The Princess Bride. But here's just how it starts. So when it starts, Fred Savage is sick. And he's like this surly kid. And he's like, Mom, leave me alone. And I'm sick and it's Christmas. And I just want to eat Cheetos. There's always like this bag of Cheetos behind him on the bed. And it was driving me crazy. But anyway, this movie came out in 1987. So I was born in 1972. So I would have been 15 at the time. Did I do my math right? I would have been 15 when this movie came out, which is probably why I didn't watch The Princess Bride. My friends and I at 15, we weren't going to the movie theater to see romance movies. I'm sorry, we were smoking club cigarettes and drinking Boone's Farm. We were not watching The Princess Bride, okay? We just were not. So, I mean, we were watching horror movies, I don't know, but we were not doing good things. So, that's probably why I missed this movie at 15. But anyway, so it starts, and his grandpa comes in, he's played by, I think, Peter Falk, and he comes in, and he's like, oh, Grandpa, I don't want you to be here. And he's like, well, I'm here because I'm babysitting you. And he's like, but I'm sick. And then Grandpa's like, well, I'm going to read you this book. And I'm like, how old is this kid? This Grandpa's going to be sitting there reading him some book? I mean, it's not like he's 6, right? And he's like, no, does it take place in Chicago? Because he's got a Bears t-shirt on. So I was like, Chicago Bears. Anyway, but it doesn't really matter. But these are the things I think about. Like, when I was watching it, he has, like, one of those beds, Fred Savage does, that has, like you lean against it, but it had, like, the bookcase built into it. I had one of those beds, too. But anyway, so I was like, oh, my God, I had one of those beds. But anyway, so then his grandpa starts reading him this book called The Princess Bride, so the movie's based on a real book written by William Goldman. I'm sure you all know that. So anyway, he also like wrote the movie for this as well. Okay, but anyway, and so then he's like, he starts reading it, and Fred Savage is like, Grandpa, is this a kissing book? I don't want to read no kissing book. And so he's like, no, just wait. It's about this Princess Bride lady. Her name is, hold on, I keep on, is it Raindrop or Melon or what's her name in here? Buttercup. So it starts off, and Buttercup lives on this farm, okay? And in some land, Florian or something like that, you don't know. Anyway, and then Buttercup is, she's got this guy that works for her, this farm guy, and she calls him Farm Boy. She's like, Farm Boy. And she's like, fill my water, do this. And then she's like, kiss me gently. No, she doesn't say that. It's not a dirty movie. It's PG, I think. Anyway, does it even say on here? I don't know. I don't care. But anyway, and so then he's like, I must go away to make my fortune to the other side of the ocean. And so she's like, but they don't even show him fall in love. Like, 1 second, she's like, can you grab that thing for me? And then he's like, yeah, and then he grabs it, and then the next second he's leaving to go to, like, I don't know. The United States wasn't around, I don't think, so I don't know. Was it? I don't even know. So anyway, he's like going on this boat, like as a pirate or something, and then she's like, but how will I ever, I was so confusion. She's like, but how will I ever exist without you? And he's like, no, but I'll come back. And then I'm like, but they didn't even show you guys fall in love. Like, where did the lure go? You know? So anyway, so then he's gone for like 3 days, and then she's marrying the prince of this town. And then he's like, I know that the prince is like, I'm marrying this woman, and I know you don't know her, but her name is Princess Buttercup. And then they're all like, yay, all the people in the town and stuff like that. I kind of, at that point, I was like, is this like a Mel Brooks family edition? Like, do you remember those Mel Brooks movies that came out in the 80s? I remember seeing those movies on like late night television. This felt to me like, and Carol Kane is in it. Wasn't she in like Bride of Frankenstein and stuff like that? It kind of felt like those kind of movies, like that comedy from like the mid to late 80s, which I actually love that comedy. And I looked up last night when I got done with it. I was like, why is The Princess Bride so good? No, truly, and don't call me Truly Bride. That's what I looked up. And it said on there, it's because it combines comedy, adventure, romance, and good storytelling all together. Douchey? I guess. I don't know. I was a little, not douchey, gushy. Okay, anyway. I was confused about it. So then, I mean, I knew what was going to happen. I mean, this is the other thing. Like, and I know people are like, it's so romanticals and things like that. But I knew he was going to go away, and then he was going to come back, and then she was going to be with somebody else, and they were going to fall in love again. And I mean, from the first 5 minutes, I knew what was going to happen with this movie. And so, I mean, I realize now why I've never watched it. Because it sucks, y'all. It sucks. I don't know, like, you know, like, these generational movies that we watch at a certain period of our life that we absolutely love. Like, okay, this is what I was going to say. So we talk a lot about tropes today. You know, was it a trope in the mid-'80s to these movies that were all like somebody reading a book and then they went to a fantasy land? Like, do you remember The Never-Ending Story? I love that movie. But when I was watching it last night, because it's kind of very similar to this, the kid's being bullied and he's hiding out in that house or attic or something, and then he's eating turkey sandwiches for lunch and he's so into that book, and then that girl's like, whatever the guy's name is, Nevershire, I don't know what his name is, and the dog with the ears and all that kind of stuff. I love that movie. That movie must have come out a lot earlier than that, but, or it came out later and I was high. I don't know, but, well, I remember loving that book. I mean, I related to it, or that movie. I related to it because I was bullied and I just liked to hang out in the attic and eat turkey sandwiches back then, I guess. I don't know, but like, all these movies that are like, somebody's reading them a book or they're reading a book or something like that, and then they go to this fantasy land, that is a trope. I kind of miss that trope. That was the one thing about the movie that I really, really like, because the more it goes on, Fred Savage gets more excited about it. Then at the end, he's like, he likes the kissing part of the book. So there, I just ruined it for you if you've never seen it. The movie's been out for like 40 years, so I hope I didn't ruin it for you. But anyway, so then he's not Farm Boy anymore. Now his name's Wesley. And so he goes away, and then he comes back to rescue. Apparently, he knows the exact moment that he's going to rescue. So, Princess Buttercup, she don't want to get married. And then these pirate people, they, like, take her and kidnap her. And then Wesley, the farm boy, he comes to, like, rescue her, but she thinks it's, like, the prince. And then he's got, like, this mask on. And even though she can hear his voice, she's like, I don't know who you are. And then he says, what's the quote they always say? He says in here, I just looked this up because I was like, Princess Bride quotes, as you wish. And he goes, as you wish. And then she's like, Wesley. And he's like, Buttercup. And then they're like, oh, but they don't kiss. And there's no real kissing in the movie or anything like that. And it's funny, like, Mandy Patinkin's in it. He's hilarious. And, I mean, it was cute. It was good. It was real boring. Like, I think in 1987, it probably just worked 100%. But, like, today, I was so bored with it. I was so bored with it. Like, I looked at the cast and I was like, where's Carol Kane? Like, I love her so much. I want to see her in this movie. Where is Carol Kane? Where have you checked on the children, Carol Kane? That's a cross-reference to her other movie, Where the Children Been, or what's that movie called? Home Alone, not Home Alone. What's that Carol Kane movie? Hold on, let's look it up. She's right underneath here. Cast. Why is it not pulling up cast? Okay, cast. Let's look up Carol. Why can't I think of that movie? It's on Tubi right now. It keeps on showing up for me on Tubi. I love Carol Kane so much. What's that movie that she's in? We watch, When a Stranger Calls, my lord, we watched that. We watched that in high school. When did that movie come out? Hold on a second. 1979. Did you ever watch When a Stranger Calls Back? I think I watched those both for my movie club last year. But anyway, and then Wesley's taken by the prince, and he's put in this, like, pit where they're, like, pulling him apart, and each time they pull him apart, it takes, like, a year off his life. Now, the guy that played, the guy that's over, like, the Pit of Doom or whatever, I liked him. And then the Princess Buttercup, she makes, like, this deal with the prince, and she's like, if Farm Boy doesn't come back to rescue me by the time then, I'll marry you, because I'm not in love with you, but I will marry you. I don't know why would you want to marry somebody that you didn't love. And she just was a commoner anyway, peasant. Was this like any of us could marry a prince? I really truly do think that I should have been married to a prince, though. I really do. My life would look so different. I probably wouldn't be filming this video right now. I would have written a memoir. It would have been called My Life on the DL. I married a gay prince and nobody knew about it. But anyway, The Real Princess Bride. Baby, that's going to be my memoir right there. This movie was bad, honey. It was bad. I don't know. People all out there telling me how great this movie is. People are like, people are messaging me today being like, if you love The Princess Bride. One of my good friends, no, truly, and don't call me Truly Brown, she messaged me when she saw this on my Instagram. One of my good friends, and she messaged me. Let me get into hold on a second. Let me get into my messages. She said to me, where is it at? She said, stop. This was one of my favorite movies as a kid. Well, I understand that, you know? I mean, I like that movie, The Boy Who Could Fly, and all them movies when I was a kid, too. Adventures of Babysitting Baby. It still stands to this day. That's still one of the greatest movies ever. And she said, can I recommend Labyrinth and Willow next? And I messaged her back and I said, I'll put them on my list. If those are the same thing, this is a hard pass. But you know, they did find love and then they went back to the farm. Even though you find out, like, she thought he was like John Robb, this pirate, but the original John Robb had retired, and then the other guy took over, and then Wesley, who's Farm Boy, he took over. But then at the end of it, like, the prince dies, and Mandy Patinkin, like, kills him. Mandy Patinkin was, like, the best thing in this movie, as an adult watching it. I don't know, if I watched it when I was younger, maybe I would have liked it, and I think, like, we have emotional connections to movies, because of when we grew up. I'm just trying to be real defensive about this movie, because it sucks so bad, y'all. It was so bad. It was. I'm sorry. The set design was bad. The costumes were bad. The dialogue was bad. The jokes were not funny. Like, when I looked it up, people were like, oh my God, the dialogue, the jokes were funny. There were like 3 catchphrases in the movie, okay? And I thought they were okay. But like, here, I looked it up here for you. Hold on a second. Let's get out of Carol Kane for a second. I looked up the catchphrases from it. Hello, my name is, that was Mandy Patinkin saying, my name is Montoya, you killed my father, prepare to die. Okay, that whole thing was so funny with him. I loved him, and I love Mandy Patinkin anyway. And then As You Wish and Inconceivable, that one guy said. But I don't know, like, I mean, I liked the cast of it. I thought the cast was great. It just was, to me, it was so mid. I don't know, like, if I saw it in the 80s, maybe I would love it. There's, like, this huge cult following. I'm, like, so afraid that people are gonna, like, hunt me down and find me. And, like, they're gonna want to hurt me over my review. It was bad. Don't tell nobody this is your favorite movie. Next up, The Notebook. Bet you can't wait for that one. Anyway, I know y'all are mad at me that I didn't love this movie. Listen, Linda. We all like what we like, okay? This was bad. This is why our divorce rate in the United States is so high, because people believe shit like this. Okay, anyway, if you love it, let me know what you love about it in the comment section below. And I'm sure that 90% of you will say, it was my favorite movie as a kid. Oh, I gotta get off here now before I sink myself anymore. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.